First of all, I want to welcome everyone back. Um, Hope everyone had a great summer, and it's good to see everyone. I oh, Robin, are you on?
Hi, I'm on. Sorry to be late.
Okay, that's okay. Uh, we're gonna start. We started with the agenda, um, and our first order of business on the agenda is to review and approve the meetings from our April meeting. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at them?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Is there any changes anybody would like to make or make recommendations? Okay, if there's no changes or anybody wants to make recommendations, then I make a motion to approve. Do I have,
Second.
all right, Leland's gonna second it. So I guess we'll move along. And the Ag Commission season updates and check-in. We have everyone here from that's on the committee, which is good. And I think that, does anybody have something they want to, bring up a little or just to discuss like they had over during this past season? They have updates or any check-ins that they'd like to discuss?
Um, I don't have anything in particular, but hi everyone. Welcome back after the farming season.
Um, I can say that it's been a very busy season and sort of look forward to the frost a little bit. It sort of calms things down a little bit and we can get preparing for next year. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
The
Rachel,
next-
I'd like to hear how fall festival things are going. You guys are kind of really, you shine in the fall.
Yeah, we have 2 more weeks left of our fall season. We kind of end of October, and it's definitely long, but it's good. We've been pretty busy. We've had a few food trucks coming in and some local musicians. A local Beecher family came, and they were really great to listen to. And just trying to do a few more family-centered activities along with the corn maze and the hay rides, so that we could uh, advertise and get our name out there.
Well, that's exciting.
Great.
I know so many people who go.
Yeah, it's been great, and it's really great meeting everyone from town and from our surrounding towns too. Everyone's been super supportive, so it's good.
Rachel, I got some, we closed this past weekend, so we had some extra stuff. I'm gonna call Christian and we'll drop it off to you guys tomorrow or maybe next day or so. So you guys
Great.
have
Thank
maybe
you. We
find a home
appreciate that.
for everything.
Thank you.
No one else has anything else to say. We'll move on the agenda to the Woodbridge lease extensions. Has anybody had a chance to take a look at the meeting from the Board of Education last night? I mean, Board of Selectmen, I'm sorry.
I have not had a chance to look at it yet.
No,
Yeah, I listened to it. It seems like, I mean, a lot of it's sort of the same conversation continued, but I'm glad they were talking about it at the Board of Selectmen meeting. They did make a note of that we haven't, as a commission, I guess formally submitted to have lease extensions put on the charter, which we've talked about and never seemed really ready for. So I think they're looking for, and we are getting to the point where it'd be good to have a formal request to extend the leases.
Leland, do you have any sense from that meeting? I guess I can go back to and listen to it as well. But what they said a request should entail? Because I know that we did formally do that a few years ago. And at that time, the previous Board of Selectmen, that's when they said we'd have to change the town charter. So what do we have to do in order to?
So that wasn't exactly clear. I know it was a long time ago, but we said we'd requested for lease extensions, and then we found out that would require changing the town charter. So they didn't specifically say what we needed to do, but I would assume this new request for lease extensions would be getting on the town charter for when is it, like May, right?
That would be correct, Leland.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a lot of time to be working towards that. And since this has kind of been one of our main policy,
Well, and sorry, not to cut you off, at the
go ahead.
meeting, I'm sure you and Chris know, they approved the leases for this coming year. So we have all this time, as those are all already agreed upon 1-year leases, to work towards being on the charter for May.
I think
Okay, great.
that's a start, Leland, and maybe we should just keep on moving now forward. This should be one of our goals this year to try to get at least extensions out. And probably speaking with Mika, maybe I'll have a meeting if you guys would like. I could meet with Mika and see how he wants us to proceed. If you're all good with that.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
To find out what we need to do to make that formal, put in that formal request.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Okay. Let me write this down. Hold on. I only got a little bit of feedback from the meeting last night. So I can't really know which direction, what you're thinking. But I think talking with Mika and whoever he would recommend from the selectmen, that I'll sit down and talk with him, and I'll bring that back, and that'll be part of our agenda for our November meeting. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add to that? Is everyone good? Does anybody else want to go meet with Mika, or are you good with me going, or?
Yeah, I think I really have no idea what the process is and what um sort of a formal request from the Ag Commission to alter the charter would look like. So and maybe it could even start with an email thread of, can we see what a request for changing the charter looked like for a different scenario? So we could try to start structuring what we want to submit.
That's a good idea, Leland. And I'll also make a phone call.
Yeah, great.
Okay. On our agenda here, we talk about the fourth thing, the fall newsletter, Ag Commission and Farms. We did that in the past, that in the, I believe it was the town that comes out to the public and everything. I think we could do just a little update and a little bit of who the commission members are and what we're looking maybe to start moving forward, maybe, and people to get involved and people to have questions, and maybe we can help them out.
Yeah, I think I was looking back at or maybe it was the agenda from the previous meeting. And
Yeah.
I think we had an idea of doing some sort of newsletter blurb for the month of July to say, you know, we have farms, they're open,
Yep.
they're producing things now. And that 100% fell off my
Yep.
radar. So
You
I
told me
mean, I
right, I
think
remember
just-
this now, Christina. You're
Yeah,
right.
but I had totally forgotten. So yeah, to have it in the fall, especially while we are meeting, we can include maybe our meeting times. No one has ever really taken us up on joining our meetings before, but I think that just to know that we do meet October through May once a month can be included, and um
I think that's a good idea, Christina. Do you want to put together a little something like a blurb and we could have, you know, get it out to people?
yeah, I'll put that together and then send or we can review a draft at the next meeting and send it to the I think we have to approve it um
In our minutes.
in our minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can send that out before our next meeting, and if we can approve, maybe it can go out around whenever the is it a quarterly newsletter
I'm not-
Great question.
through the town?
I think it's
Well, I can
quarterly,
check on
yes.
that as well. But yeah, maybe it can go out with one of the holidays, Thanksgiving or winter, Christmas holiday.
That sounds good. Then, and then we could approve it at our November meeting, or if we gotta make any changes, and then we could approve it.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds great. Anybody want to add to that?
The only thing I would say is, for sure we should try to, at some point this winter, have written up and submitted whatever way it is, so that we don't miss the farming season next year, just to sort of advocate for the farmers. And like you said, Christina, just say, hey, these are the farms in town. Go see everyone, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea, Christina. Besides doing their meetings, mention some of the farms, the season. If you got questions, you could call us. You can call Rachel, you can call me, or yourself, and just say, you know, from June through October, these are some of the farms that are in your area that, you know, farm in Woodbridge.
Okay.
I'm gonna toss out an idea, obviously feel free to disagree, but I'm inclined to think that what goes in the December newsletter, I'm assuming it's December, maybe I'm wrong about when that quarterly is, but like whatever goes in the next newsletter, people aren't gonna remember by June. So I would think that maybe we want to put something in this next coming newsletter, like wrapping up the season or something like that. And mention all of the farms and then put something together that we approve at our last meeting in like April or May, whatever that last meeting is, to go out in the next one in late spring.
Good
That is
idea, Rob.
safe,
Yeah, that sounds
to do
great.
us all.
I think
Yeah.
for this one, if you want to mention the farm, say what they offer or grow, so if people do have questions to reach out, they know kind of like the different specialties of the different farms too. Because I know Christina does a lot with flowers, a lot more than I would do with flowers, for example. So she might be a good point person to reach out to for some things like that, for example. I don't know if that would be worthwhile, or we could reach out to some of the other farms that aren't necessarily on the commission, or if you all know what they offer, just so people have an idea of kind of like areas of specialty.
Yeah, I think that would be nice. Even if it is something that we repeat both now and again in the spring, um, or maybe expand on more in the spring. Um, just more repetition might get some of the word out there.
Make sense?
Yeah, that's good, Christina.
I don't know if we have a word limit, so I can check on that. That might be the only thing if they say got to keep it short and sweet, or if we have to keep it to just ag commission things, but I don't see any reason why an agricultural commission plugging town farms is not in our purview.
That seems exactly what our purview is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Well, so yeah, I'll maybe have a long and a short version available. But I will check with Allison beforehand, but if we think like there's maybe too much information, maybe there's going to be a condensed version for at least for this end of year newsletter announcement.
That sounds good. I think, um, once we, this, maybe every, year we should just put down as start the season off like we're doing now, or start our meetings off now with something like this. And then every year we just put it down as a part of our agenda of how we should start the discussion of what's going on, and just repeat it. I think it's a good thing for us to let the people in town know what's going on a regular basis. So I think that's good. We have some of the things called goal setting for this year, and I think we've brought quite a few of them up here. One of them was the lease extensions. I think something with a newsletter, people like questions and answers, we could help out with something like that as the season comes along. People, they bring up, we had a lot of storms this year, a lot of weather issues, climate change, and it's making a big difference of how things happen. And Miko did reach out to me. He had somebody from the state call, and he wanted to know if I had any damage. I didn't have much damage, but I did have some damage. But it's just part of what goes on every year. You always have something's gonna damage stuff, whether it be animals, weather, or a virus or something like that. So is there anybody else that thinks about some of the other things we should set as goals?
Well, I'm just making a note to myself now because I meant to just do another check-in about some of those grants now that you mentioned climate, Chris. Remember how if maybe it was last year we had talked about some of the grant opportunities that were available through the state for climate smart
They do.
funding.
Mhm.
I know Steve's really plugged into that world, Steve Munno. So maybe before our next meeting, I can check with him and also just be, looking through to see if there's anything. Robin or Leland, Rachel, does anybody have anything that they think might be on our radar?
I don't have anything offhand, but I can take a look around. I mean, it's definitely the sorts of things that do come across my radar. There's nothing that's really coming to mind right now.
I
The one
think
that
the
I'm
American
aware of.
Farmland Trust has a grant open right now through November for sustainable. I think they primarily focus on livestock, but they have a few other things that you could get certain awards for, specifically for all of Connecticut and then certain New England states.
Okay. I wasn't able to go to the open house for the planning and concert POCS. Is that what it is? Is that the acronym?
PCOS?
Yes.
I
Or
think so.
the open house for the gosh,
Yeah, conservation and
No.
open space.
did anyone go to the
conservation.
open house?
No, it's too busy.
Yeah, same. I was just wondering if there was anything there that was relevant to us, but I Sorry.
I think it's hard during the summer. We have a lot of things going on and, October we're just starting to wind down. November, I think it gets a little easier because some of the things that we normally are doing sort of have cut back. So I think it's good, maybe, Christina, if you tune in with Steve and see what's going on, maybe that should be something we can look at our next meeting.
Okay, yep.
All right.
Yeah, and I think just in terms of goals, sort of just to summarize, again, our long-term goal has been lease extensions. And then I think being in this little newsletter so we can make ourselves make the public aware that we're a resource or at least a location to reach out to the town and discuss agricultural things. And again, be a resource to hopefully, if people are looking for grants, point them in the right direction with that. But, and then the other goal we set here, I guess, is before the end of our commission season and before the summer, making sure we have something written up to publish before the summer and the growing season, right? Did I miss anything?
I think that pretty much,
I think you summarized it really well, Leland.
Thank you.
well, does anybody else have anything more they'd like to say? Well,
Good.
thank everybody for joining the meeting tonight. I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
One second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
All right.
Aye. So I'll see you guys
Oh,
November.
did we decide the meeting dates, or is it just stays the second Tuesday of every month?
I think we decided the second Tuesday of every month.
And I think we can change it if we want to. Like,
We
that
can
doesn't
always
have to-
change it. We
Oh,
can
that's good
make
for
that
me.
part of the agenda for next month.
Yeah, I'm good with continuing to meet on this date. I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
look at the dates and I'll bring them up at the next meeting.
Okay,
Okay? All right. All right. Good night, everyone.
thanks,
Good night,
guys.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Take
Good night.
care.